like testing now?
Oh,
I
this
don't
is
have
live. This
time.
is live.
Yeah, impromptu. Don't worry.
No.
Ha.
No.
So hi
All right,
guys
see you, bro.
and welcome back to another uh Bitcoin on Track episode, and today we are now live here with some of our Bybit friends, which is Timothy and Patty. So today we are going to talk about three things here. We are going to discuss first how is the current market. Maybe I can show you guys what's currently happening with the crypto market. Then after that, we'll ask Tim and Patty their thoughts. Both from Bybit, and we're just gonna ask their thoughts on where do they think the market is going, just their personal thoughts. Then after that, we are going to discuss more things and Bybit related. Then after that, ask, we are going to answer some of your questions. So let me know, guys, if you can hear the stream. If you can hear it, just type one below. So yeah, just type one if you can hear the stream. So we're just waiting if they can hear the stream. So how are you, Patty? It's been a while since we saw each other.
It's been a while, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like it's been pretty hard for the market at the moment.
Mm.
But I think like when we met in last year, in Portugal, right? And then like you will predict the market that is gonna be bear market. And I
Hmm.
think it's about time. The price of Bitcoin have been somehow like kind of what you predict before,
Yeah.
which is interesting. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of circumstance in the market that have been, like push the market into bear market at the moment, which is interesting. But still hopefully that we can get back to um 100K for BTC. That
Mm.
was the surprise that I jump in.
Yeah. I remember that time telling, because at that time it was one of the peak of the bull market. It was around 110, right? Or 100K. Then I told then I was telling everyone that it's Bitcoin is gonna go down, right? And no one's listening at that time. Then Bitcoin actually went down, right? If you remember that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. At that time, I was like, well, I don't know. Maybe it's not gonna drop below 80K, but
Yeah.
yeah, like
Okay.
it's terrible now.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I can see their comments. They're saying that we are audible, but the sound is a bit weak. Let me just adjust the volume a bit. Check. So I hope this is much better for you guys. Or let me increase it a bit. 30, 45.
Cool. By the
Okay.
way, guy, like how everything in the Philippines at the moment for oil price, whatever that's
Oil
happened.
price? Well, maybe Tim can answer that.
Oh, oil price. Actually, kasama na pala ako. So, I'm already live as well. I thought I was in the background still, so sorry I wasn't talking earlier.
So,
So I think I would ask Patty to come out, so we can see your beautiful face.
yeah, you should show your face too, Patty.
I'm in pajamas, so like I didn't expect to be live with you guys, but whatever.
Um, so oil prices. I know Tristan's problem is, it's not something that he thinks about since he's been doing racing a lot. I bet it's not really a problem for him, but for most people, um, of course, it's really. I say we are at all time high prices now when it
Yeah,
comes to oil prices,
it's like
and
crypto.
yeah, I wish we are at all time high when it comes to crypto, but now it's a different story. Obviously there's been a lot of Middle East conflicts lately. it plays a big role with the way, the way we get our barrels of oil. So it's something that no one actually predicted to be happening, right? And then I think it's something that we cannot really control. But it's very a difficult situation. I'm not sure in Thailand as well if you guys have. I think you do have the same problem.
I think so.
She's not aware. She's using Tesla, by the way. I think.
Patty does not feel the issue because she's using
Okay.
Tesla.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, I mean, when it comes to the price, right, it affect overall country, right? So the price of the stuff, the thing that you buy, and everything is the price increasing. The service you have to pay higher. So that means like the same money that you have, you get less than what is had before. That the consequence of the price of the will increase it, but they currently like they have the finalized to increase the oil price for the whole country, but I heard that they have some conversation with the Iran, like basically like the government talk to the Iran government to make sure that the oil ship can be go to the Hormuz Hormuz and then
Yeah.
and
I
then
heard about that.
this can deliver the oil back to the market again. So I think like it might be temporary like increase for the price. Well, but at the moment it literally affect especially like for the low income
Yeah.
and middle class income. So like in the country, which is most likely like majority of the people in Thailand. So I think that's pretty much affect. Yeah.
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 Okay.
I think the move in Thailand government was really effective. And I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the ships coming from Thailand, I mean, crossing the Strait of Hormuz they were allowed, right, to pass
Yes.
with that agreement. So I hope we could have the same agreement with that.
Bomb once they bombed the ship once from
Right.
that was something from the company, but I think they were that before like a few weeks ago, and then they have like a new communication
Yeah.
with the Iran, and then the ship been go through, and then they announced that they somehow like want to keep the good relationship with Thailand. So like they still like, okay, let the ship go to the state of Hormuz, so which is good for us. Yeah. But I'm not sure like what about the Philippines, like beside like the market, like the local market oil production, or somewhere else you guys have to like import the oil as well to the country.
Speaking of oil, maybe we can discuss now the crypto market because it's somewhat related to the crypto market as well, right? So despite of the oil being all-time high, we are now seeing crypto at one of its all-time low. So if you guys have any questions on the comment section, just make sure to hit the comment section, then add your questions down below. We will answer it, and we will make sure to get as thorough as possible with your questions. But with right now with what's happening, despite of the increasing oil price, what do you think, Tim and Patty, will happen with the crypto market despite of the oil price?
That's my question to you.
Well, I can answer that now if you guys want. So for me, I think right now, since the oil prices is definitely at an all-time high, at some point there will be a point where the oil price will stop its increase, wherein just like Bitcoin. If we see an Bitcoin all-time high, at some point that all-time high will stop, then it will correct, and then it will consolidate. And it's also similar to what we saw last pandemic. So last pandemic we saw oil prices going up very high, Then after that, it stopped peaking. Then it just consolidated for just one price for almost 4 years. And then right now, it just increased again. So I think what will happen with this and together with crypto, once we see after the oil price all-time high hike, we might see crypto coming after it, because if you recall, back in 2020, we saw oil make an all-time high. Then after that, Bitcoin made an all-time high after oil going down, after the price of oil went down. So maybe next year or next year we might see crypto go back to an all-time high after this oil price all-time high. That's what I'm seeing right now.
Right. Somehow I would agree. Of course, so when we say that technically in my opinion, there isn't a direct correlation between oil and Bitcoin, right? Technically, but oil technically affects inflation, right? It
Yeah.
it increases it lowers people's purchasing power because of course when oil shoots up, most of us won't be able to come outside the malls, buy something that we want. Even gasoline almost a year ago. And inflation also affects liquidity, right? And it's not just about the way we purchase products, but at the same time, investments, right? Like when people used to buy Bitcoin more than a year ago, right? Or like 2 years ago, gonna be different today. So I think that's what moves crypto. Of course, if liquidity is in good shape, Bitcoin's price also goes up. But in this case, I think the question is really, do you think Bitcoin is something that you should still consider buying? Given that it's a risky asset, right? Still, it's a risky asset, right? For most, due to its volatility or being volatile by nature. I think it's also a great question to address if it's still a good, whether it's a good time to buy or if it's really a good idea to buy Bitcoin.
Speaking of time to buy, I think we can now dive into the charts. Maybe I can share my screen to you guys. Then let's give you first an analysis, especially for all the viewers who are waiting for the analysis that I usually give out. So just an FYI, I wasn't able to post a video last Wednesday and Friday because I was busy fixing my car. So yeah, we'll catch up right now with whatever we have. So let me start first by sharing my screen and allow to share screen. So share entire screen. So can you guys see my screen? I know the chat box can see it. Someone asked on the comment section, would like to know if your Miata is sponsored by Bybit. I'm not gonna comment on that.
No, we know.
No, it's not. I bought the Miata by myself. It's not a sponsored by Bybit. So let's start first with the chart. So just to give everyone a recap, right now in the chart we are seeing a Bitcoin bear flag forming at the chart. So as you can see that clear bear flag here. And right now we have started seeing Bitcoin breaking down. So this breakdown usually plays following this height of this bear flag. Then if you're going to extend this bear flag, you will see that this bear flag can take us down to 53,000 US dollars following this Bitcoin bear flag. So right now, in this case, we might see the Bitcoin bear flag playing out. However, looking at the volume, we are not seeing any volume right now. So in this case, if we are not seeing any volume with the Bitcoin bear flag, this Bitcoin price could potentially consolidate between the 62 to 64,000 US dollars if we do not see any more sell volume. So typically, if ever that we want to see a bear flag playing out, it should have sell volume upon this bearish breakout, which is right now we are not seeing that sell volume. However, nonetheless, I have opened a brand new short position at the 67,600 US dollars. And my initial short position, I am going to target the short position up until the $63,452. So that is the current chart that I am looking at right now. And yeah, this if Bitcoin breaks the 63,000 or 64,000 US dollars, then we might see Bitcoin go down much further to 60K. But right now, we have to take things one step at a time, and I'm still eyeing 63,000 US dollars for the time being. And before I was a bit bullish going back to the 76,000 US dollars, but right now it's much different now because we saw Bitcoin breaking this crucial support area of this Bitcoin bear flag. So since we have broken this Bitcoin bear flag support, the next target for this one is more likely going to be the 63 to 64,000 US dollars. So that is what I am currently seeing right now. And yeah, do you have any thoughts, Tim, with the current market?
Um, well, so far I think you've shown, it's basically in a consolidation stage, right? No clear decision yet, or no clear direction yet, if I got it right. So, uh, well, as you know, I'm more of a fundamental
Mm,
guy. I think I would agree that you're looking at a good position, whether it's going to be long or short, right? But yeah, I think at this point, I'm also observing on how the market will move. Obviously, it's consolidating at the moment. I'm also waiting whether or not we can, like reverse the price up, or whether the price will also go down. If it continues to go down, probably there's something that's going to happen between the ongoing, I don't know, whether the war escalation, or
yeah.
like if there's more to that. So,
Okay.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Like, you think it's still not the bottom for Bitcoin, right?
Mm.
It's still able to go to 63.
So that's a good question. So Patty's question right now is this the Bitcoin bottom, or will we still see Bitcoin go lower? So that's a very interesting question. Let's go back to the chart and see. So right now in the Bitcoin chart, the current bottom that we are seeing right now is 60K following this massive wick. So as you can see, we saw a massive wick
right.
here with Bitcoin. 60K is the current Bitcoin bottom for the time being. But the problem with this one is we are seeing a bear flag. So right now, I think the Bitcoin bottom is playing around 53,000 to 60,000 US dollars. So I'm not quite sure which of this is going to be the bottom, if 60K or 53K. But right now, I am pretty sure that it's going to be between this area, between 53 to 60K. So that's the Bitcoin bottom that I am currently eyeing right now.
Right. So, Tristan, I think maybe I can ask this question as well, right? So, I know that there's still a downside risk. It's very hard to say can it will go back to what, like 80, 90, 100K levels, in
Yeah.
short term. Um, Honestly, I think that there's really a good downside risk. The price will really might still go down, right, with the ongoing situation. But I think my question is, from your perspective, no, as a technical analyst, or um, does it automatically mean we're turning? Kumbaga, do you consider this na bearish market na, after, like, let's say it goes down to 50K levels? Can we say like we are already on a bearish market? I think the definition of what a bearish market means is something we should also talk about, or maybe like coming from you, any insights mo, your insights.
Yeah. So first things first, if we are going to understand the difference between a bear market and bull market, it actually depends on which analyst are you talking to, because some analysts will tell you na bear market is whenever Bitcoin is below the 50-week moving average. Some people are saying bear market is whenever we reach the Bitcoin bottom. But for me, the way how I look at Bitcoin bull and bear market is, let me go back to the chart. So the way how I see Bitcoin bull and bear market is using the weekly time frame. Let's go to weekly time frame. Then let's open the 50-week moving average. So the 50-week moving average is actually a good indicator in determining if we are in a bull market or bear market. So if you're going to look back in time, whenever we are above the 50-week moving average, that is a sign that we are in a Bitcoin bull market. But whenever we are below the 50-week moving average, that is the sign that we are in a Bitcoin bear market. And as you can see, multiple times across history, we have seen this pretty much playing out accurately, especially in the previous market cycle. We saw Bitcoin play in the Bitcoin bull market, then enters a bear market. And then in the current cycle, we actually saw this time that we saw Bitcoin went into one of the longest bull market in history. It's around almost 3 years of bull market, pretty much longer than the previous market cycle. So if you're going to look at the chart, either way, we are at a Bitcoin bear market, because we are, by definition, we are at a Bitcoin bear market because we are below the 50-week moving average. So this is telling us that it is a Bitcoin bear market, and in this case, whenever we are in a Bitcoin bear market, that is already a buying opportunity for the long term. So take note, whenever we are in a bull market, that is the time for you to sell. But whenever we are in a bear market, that is the time for you to buy. So if you're not buying Bitcoin right now, then I don't know what you're doing. You should be taking the risk right now in buying Bitcoin. And yeah, right now, even if we see even a much lower price, either way, we are still in a Bitcoin bear market. So
Yeah,
that's how
that's
I see it.
scary.
Makes sense.
That's scary. If it go down, lower, I mean, it's scary.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything. Yeah. I
Some
just wonder, like when you identify when it's going to move to the bull market again, like at the bottom, like how do you like identify the
We are
start
in the
of the
start of the bull
yeah,
market.
the start of the bull market. That's a good question.
yeah,
At
yeah.
the same time, someone asked in the comment section below, what is your estimated bottom range? Mine is 35 to 45K. Asked by Greytex5778. So, actually, that's a good question asked between Patty and Greytex. So, the way how we determine the start of a bull market is not actually quite simple, because if you're going to look back in time, there are multiple instances in the past where the Bitcoin bull market are determined either by indicators formed by the technical indicators. There are times that it is formed by technical indicators, while there are times that it is formed by uncertainties with the market, such as the pandemic crash. After the pandemic crash, we saw a Bitcoin bull market. So if you're going to look back in time, there's actually no proper way, or there's no formal way in determining the start of a bull market. However, we can determine if we are already in a bull market. So we can determine if we are in a bull market if we are above the 50-week moving average. And if that happens, that is telling us that we are starting the bull market. But the bad thing with this one is we don't actually know where is the Bitcoin bottom. So it is possible for you to know the start of the bull market, but it's very difficult for you to tell if we are at the Bitcoin bottom already, because determining the Bitcoin bottom is very hard to predict. It really depends on the technical indicators, and sometimes it will need some more Bitcoin data, and some of the times we will need different, how do you say this, different factors outside the crypto market, such as what happened before. After the pandemic ended, we saw a crypto pump. So it really depends. It really depends. And just like what Ramin Reza Sepasi 5407 on the comment section said, no one can predict where the Bitcoin bottom will be.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard, right? Tama yung perspective. The perspective is really right. It's very hard to predict it. Otherwise, marami nang mayaf. If you look at 2020 Bitcoin bull run, it happened mainly because of massive liquidity, right?
Yeah.
Governments printed a lot of money during COVID
That's
because
true.
sobrang tindi. And interest rates were very, very low at that time. So capital had to go somewhere. So that basically played a big part of the crypto narrative in 2020. It's like, if you look at it, like months lang after the COVID situation being announced as a, how is it, like global pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Months after that, it rose to like consistently going up, and so I think there's a few factors in 2020. A lot of money printing happened, so people had to have lost confidence of their own money, right? And they wanted to have something to hedge against inflation. So it's either you go for gold or you go for Bitcoin. But in that case, Bitcoin at that time in 2020, in my opinion, was really hyped by purely retail. That's the time when ETFs weren't around yet. Unlike right now, where we're talking about Bitcoin being more structured, more institutions have already came in. So it's really not like 2020, wherein, okay, there's something that's happening that people would have to look for something like a safe haven, and then Bitcoin would really go up that crazy. It's no longer that case anymore, right? We're now talking about more institutionalized or more participants participating in crypto market. So also something that we should also consider. I mean, who knows if if the ongoing war in Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Iran, United States, like if when they announce that the war is already over, I'm not even sure if it's something that would drive Bitcoin market up, because it's like I said, it's not like in 2020. There must be something that would really make people or like governments, people inject more liquidity on crypto. But I think the question here is, do we believe that Bitcoin is something that's here to stay? Do we still believe in its fundamentals? Do we still see crypto market in general solving societal problems? Problems like remittances, like anything like fintech, or maybe like in real world assets, RWA, stuff like that. So yeah, but if you think do you guys think Bitcoin is here to stay? So if case, then we should buy more Bitcoin at this point.
Well, I honestly think Bitcoin is here to stay, so that's why I've been buying Bitcoin. So that's why, Patty, you should also be buying Bitcoin right now.
It's scam. Yeah. I bought it 100K price, so it's scam now.
Okay.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think will drive Bitcoin to go back to its awesome prices? What do you think will be the kicker this 2026, or will it be even in 2026 or 2027?
I don't think it's gonna happen in 2026, honestly. So I think it's going to happen in 2027. Around 2027.
I would think about the Bitcoin halving. That's related to bull market every time. I think like when it's become to Bitcoin halving, and then the price start to kick up after that. So maybe I will point to that reason if we'll see bull again, but I'm not sure like when will be the next Bitcoin halving again. Not sure.
By the way, shout out to our 150 viewers right now on the comment section. So there are a lot of questions. There are some questions right now here asking uh if either we will be going to a long consolidation, what are our DCA strategies, and if it is possible in the futures market. We will answer that in a bit later. So right now, we are finalizing our understanding on the Bitcoin crypto market. So after that, we are going to dive in with your questions. Then after that, we're going to discuss how are you, or what's the uh what's the update of Bybit when it comes to the Philippine market. But yeah, let's start first with your price prediction for the next bull market. So Tim and Patty, where do you think Bitcoin will go in the next Bitcoin bull market?
Patty wants to answer it first.
I already said like maybe like the next halving. My prediction maybe like next year, the same as you, Jason, for 2027. It might be kickstart in the first quarter, but maybe that time nobody know it possibly gonna hit like the very low price, which is like the bottom is just the first signal to start the bull market. So last time that I bought Bitcoin in 2020 something, forgot already, but like before during COVID or something, but that time like I got at the very bottom like 15K. So like that pretty much like what I had at that time, and then I think like that's gonna be like the bottom already, and then it's true that price is pretty much the bottom, and then I think like it should be the same period of time, which is like I bought that in January, February, but so I think like this could be the next year, but the first quarter of next year it could be the bottom, but I'm not sure the price at the moment.
How about you, Tim? What is your Bitcoin price prediction?
Well, honestly, I would think my only, not really dream, right? But at least my desire for Bitcoin is to at least go back to its all-time high, right? At least that's just that's something that I want to see first. And but most analysts, most experts would say that we can that there's a potential for Bitcoin to go as high as 200,000, right? We're seeing all the ETFs at the moment. I haven't seen any companies that have pulled out their investments, right? Not that I know of, right? If you guys know some, let me know. But I haven't heard any ETF yet who had investments in BTC that have pulled out. So I think that's something that gives me a message, gives me a clear message that Bitcoin is really, still here to stay, and a lot of institutions and retail traders are still in high confidence, still has high confidence, when it comes to BTC. But I'm thinking like ranging by 2027. Maybe the 200K is gonna be usually bull market happens between for how many years? 2 to 3 years usually, right? And 1 year bear market. So I'm thinking of like maybe next year we could be ranging between 70 to 125K. And then like maybe 2028, we'll see if it breaks its all-time high and it's gonna be on price discovery mode. So yeah, conservatively 125, and then the max is 200,000.
Well,
What do you think? Analyst, of course. I can like 300K, but of course, it really
well,
depends on
300
macro and
well, 300k is a bit of a stretch. Maybe my price prediction. So, since we are in a Bitcoin bear market, I am not sure where the bottom will be, but my prediction is between 53,000 to 60,000. And then what I think will happen is by the end of this year or first quarter of the 2027, we might see a Bitcoin pump. And then just like what you said, we might see Bitcoin recover to 70 or 80k next year. And then as for the all-time high price, what I am seeing is, or what I am eyeing personally is between 150k to 180k for the time being. And I'm not sure if it will go any higher, but the problem with the crypto market right now is there's this thing called law of diminishing returns. So as the asset price goes higher, it's gonna start stabilizing. When we say stabilizing, it's there will be a point wherein this is the maximum peak. And at that maximum peak, we cannot go very higher. We can only go a bit higher, but that's it. I think that is where Bitcoin is heading to within the next maybe 10 years. But for now, I think Bitcoin can still possibly go back to 150k or 180k and maybe break the all-time high, because just like what Bitcoin tend to do in the previous market cycle, Bitcoin always break the all-time high every market cycle. So that is how I am currently seeing it. And Jonathan Bassi said, "Scam, the word scam. That is always what I have said when our professor on college telling us to buy Bitcoin. So right now, you've seen that it's not a scam. So
yeah.
yeah, you should be buying Bitcoin right now."
Well, we are now seeing gold performing pretty well, right? Along with silver. Gold is, correct me if I'm wrong, right? So technically, when gold is up, it's not really directly affecting Bitcoin's price in a way that when gold is up, Bitcoin is down. It's not always the case, right?
Yeah.
It can go down, and Bitcoin may benefit if capital rotates to crypto or like into higher risk assets. Of course, the bigger driver is the liquidity, after all, not really gold itself. But if I may ask you, in your opinion, Tristan, do you think when at this point in time, when gold starts to correct its prices, I don't know, will it somehow play a big role when it comes to Bitcoin's recovery?
Well, right now, I think it's very difficult to tell because we haven't seen a. Oh wait, nawala yun. Yeah. So right now, I couldn't say if there are any correlations between gold and crypto, because I don't recall a time where we saw a gold all-time high, then the crypto market followed after in the past. So
Yeah.
since we haven't seen any correlations in the past, I don't think that there's going to be an effect for now when it comes to gold and then crypto. So it's very difficult to tell when it comes to the liquidity moving from gold market to crypto market, because there's no direct comparison as of the time being with historical data. So right now I couldn't say if it's going to be directly correlated. So what do you think, guys?
Right, right. After all, gold is sudden, and Bitcoin is more of a higher risk asset.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think if you have gold that much, and then you will sell it in exchange of Bitcoin, it's not. I mean, especially in situations like this where people are looking for a safe haven, it's not automatically that you choose Bitcoin. No? Although people say it's the new form of digital, it's a digital form of gold, but in reality, people would still go for something more or something safer, which is gold. So it explains why gold is doing pretty well recently, despite the war situations.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for answering.
I think we can move on to answering. Sorry, let's wait for a bit. The stream is lagging.
Yeah, sorry, I'm using Starly still.
I think it's on my end.
But also, like, I don't understand, like, why if World War III happened, like people like just keep buying gold.
Well, it's
It's
because of the hype.
you sell everything, like you just want to save money for whatever, like to buy stuff, whatever. But why like the gold price increasing?
It's because of the hype. Everyone is getting hyped by gold.
But why not Bitcoin?
Well, Bitcoin, it's a different market. There's a,
Yes,
I believe in the thing that's some other people doesn't believe, the 4 year cycle rule. I believe in that.
It's because like if you think back into the COVID situation, right?
Yeah.
The price of Bitcoin increasing, but gold not. If I remember, so like it's kind of same thing. The situation. Oh, but what do you think? Like why not Bitcoin like come like in this crisis, but in COVID situation, it's also like increasing in that time. I think it's so like so weird.
Yeah. I
If
think it depends on where the liquidity is. Because right now the liquidity is in either AI or gold. So right now there's no liquidity in crypto. By the time we see maybe the AI bubble burst, maybe, or after the gold hype burst, maybe we can see some of the liquidity go back to crypto. So right now there are a lot of bubbles that are happening around the world. So that's why maybe the liquidity is not coming back to crypto because it's still in the other markets, right?
right. And gold is, for me, it's outperforming Bitcoin. Because at the end of the day, market is still cautious. There's an ongoing war, and when there's an ongoing war, people don't like riskier assets.
Yeah.
At this point in time, Bitcoin is still very volatile. You see, from last year it was hovering around 100K. Now it's what, 60K,
It's true. Maybe
65, 66,000. Sorry, did I do guys? So yeah, with ongoing geopolitical tensions and relatively high interest rates in America, it's now 3.5%, right? Back in 2020, when COVID happened, they had to lower it down that much from
yeah.
0.25%. So you see the difference when interest rate is so high, the money is gonna be very tight. Liquidity is lower,
Yeah.
so people don't get to invest a lot. Retail traders don't get to invest a lot, even institutions. But when interest rates are low, they have better reasons to loan, or they have better reasons to borrow money from the banks because they can easily pay it off, right? If they make money from Bitcoin with the specific, even if it's a riskier asset, when they repay the bank, right, it's easier for them to outperform the interest rate, right,
Yeah.
versus the actual gains that they can get. They will make more money. Unlike right now, if it's 3.5%, the margin is too how do you say it, like too thick,
Yeah.
for them to make money. So yeah, and personally, I think this is why exchanges like Bybit have options for you to trade gold, because if when Bitcoin is not doing well, there is another option for you to trade, right? Like they have gold XAUT, am I right? Right. And then if you want to trade silver as well, if you think silver is doing well, then you can also trade TradFi. So I think that's the beauty of exchanges recently, including Bybit, because we're not only limited to crypto. And as I think that's a goal that our exchange is aiming in general. We call ourselves a crypto arc because it's when you come in, you almost have everything to choose from when it comes to trading. You can even trade oil, right? Commodities on Bybit at this point in time. So I really wish we can entertain users, but at this point in time, we are of course in the process of working on different like compliance matters, so that prevents us from entertaining it. So we just had a great pleasure of being invited here in your good YouTube channel, Tristan. So thank you for the opportunity.
Definitely. And right now we have 180 viewers watching in the comment section. And of course, there will be more viewers who are going to watch the replay of this live stream. Maybe we can answer some of the questions that are being mentioned in the comment section. So let's answer one of the questions first by Endorphemy. Endorph meme. His question is, hi guys, would you advise doing futures long-term position with 1 or 2x leverage? As an example, if I go long position with Bitcoin at 60K and try to hold it, would the fees burn me doing this? This is an interesting question. So his question is, he will open a long position at 60K. He will open a long position at 60K with 2x leverage, and then he will leave it in Bybit app. And then would the fees burn him if he is going to leave this? So maybe I can answer that question first. So
Yeah.
as for me, I've been actually doing that. So I've been doing 3x leverage and I've been holding those 3x leverage. And from what I've been seeing, there are fees which will definitely burn your profits. But this is the other thing that you have to take note. If you are sure with where the Bitcoin price is going, the profit will outperform the fees. So if let's say you have a $100 trade, then this $100 trade you were able to make it to $1,000. And then the total fees was around, let's say, $180 or $150. At the end of the day, you have a total profit or net profit of around maybe $850. So either way, even if the fees burned your profits still outperformed the gas fees, or sorry, not the gas fees, the funding fee.
Link fees.
Yeah. So that's how I am currently seeing it. And maybe Tim, you can add how you can uh discuss the funding fees.
Okay. So there is a proper way to calculate funding fees on Bybit. I think that's something that you should, as a trader, look into. There's in our website. There's a way for you to calculate potential funding fees. Right? There's a formula. Of course, I can't say it from here, but I would encourage you to check the website, and then if you Google it, you see, say, Bybit funding rates or funding fees. It already tells you the funding rate formula. But the question is, so Tristan does more trading, when it comes to derivatives than I do. I'm a mix of like 70-30%, 70% spot, 30% derivatives. And I would say that I commend those people who are doing derivatives at this point in time, especially most people who does, in my observation, most people that do derivatives happen on a bull market. So you'd see a good trader when they do trade on a bear market. So if Tristan does trading during bear market, then you would say he's a good trader, right? I've seen some traders who already disappeared ngayong bear market na. So you have to really think carefully on who you are following.
Yeah, that's true.
It's something that, you know, when people say they make money a lot on trading, but it's one thing when they don't show you your, you know, their portfolio. But yeah, just to answer the question, it's possible to hold futures long term with low leverage, like 1 to 2x, especially if the trend is correct, as what Tristan mentioned. But I think it's not the most efficient approach because of funding fees. So you have to consider the formula, the amount that you're putting in, and the target price that you wish to target. You know, when trading. So that's why most traders use futures for positioning. If they see, let's say, within the next day, or like 4 hours, or like 12 hours, depending on the time frame that they want to use, for positioning, whether it's going down or going up. And most people, on the other hand, they do spot for long-term exposure. So you have to think out of the box, right? Because I understand that the reason why you're doing it is that, let's say, for example, you don't have that much capital and you want to somehow leverage that small amount that you have, para when it makes money, it's doubled or tripled. But it's okay, but you have to consider how the funding rate is calculated, so that when the time comes, you know, the margin, yung percentage mo of earning should be higher than the funding rate.
Yeah.
Kasi may interval yung there's an interval when trading. Funding rate happens every 8 hours. So funding fees, it happens every 8 hours. So usually for Bitcoin, since it's a very liquid crypto anyway, the funding fees are usually low. But when you're trading altcoins, especially those that do have very low liquidity, they tend to have very high funding fees. So always look into that. When you're trading anyway, you will see the current funding rate, or funding fees. I would think it if it's altcoin na very low liquidity. I don't. They might end up just paying a lot with for funding fees.
Someone commented on the comment section regarding the one which you mentioned, if the influencer that you are following isn't there anymore during bear market. Someone commented, I immediately remembered Bitmaestro.
Yeah, that's the reality. I mean, we are in the business of working with influencers. I won't deny that, right? But I don't speak on behalf of the company when I say this. That I've seen some influencers who could be telling you heaven and earth, right? Promises of gains. But at the end of the day, you'd see good traders when they are still making content, or at least educating people on a bear market, or trading particularly on a bear market. When you see them trading in both markets, then I would say they are more experienced, they're more data driven than others. So yeah, I'm not mentioning any names. I'm just saying situation. So ayoko magkaroon ng kaaway, hirap na.
By the way, so, guys, it is already my 6th year working with Bybit. So yeah, it's been a long time since I've been working with them. And I remember Patty wasn't in Bybit yet at that time. Patty, you should show your face to the viewers.
Oh, you should.
No, I mean, well, we didn't agree on this before, you know? I thought you guys...
Oh, I just learned about the AMA, I think, yesterday.
You know? Maybe next time. Yeah. But yeah, like, yeah, you're stick here with us is really, really appreciate that. And then, like, you, like, be the good partner. I think, like, we really admire you for of course. You say, of course. Yeah, and we are looking forward for, you know, like, continue with this partnership for maybe forever. I think I don't know until like the Bitcoin like maybe hit 1 million. Yeah, but anyhow, guys, there's another comments again. The question.
So there are a lot of comments. So the next question is, what percentage of your entry amount are you willing to lose on each trade? Asked by Conrad Highbridge. So this is for short-term trades only. So what percentage of your entry amount are you willing to lose on each trade? So for me, I am willing to lose, maximum is 20%. 30 to 20%. That's my maximum. Anything
That's
higher
high.
than that, yeah, that's actually high. But remember, I am trading on 50x on short-term trades. So high risk and then high
High reward.
reward. So on that trade alone, my target profit for that is around 50 to 100%, but the risk there is between 20 to 30%. How about you, Tim?
Usually I would make it to between 10 to 15%.
Mm,
And then I think what really matters is position sizing.
yeah.
Right? Like if you have let's say theoretically you have $1,000 in the bank, you want to put it on for trading. Um, if you want to use high leverage, you have to make sure that the size of your position should not be as, like 100% agad, $1,000, and then SL, and you do SL at 15%.
Yeah.
And what about if you make it, let's say, position sizing from $1,000, you divide it by, let's say, I don't know, like 30 trades,
Mm,
and then from that 30 trades, you set a good SL, let's say 15%.
yeah.
And then out of those 30 trades that you have, let's say manalo ka, you win of about 70% or 60%. Diba? The probability of winning is still much higher because you have multiple trades happening on different dates.
Yeah.
And it also prevents you from doing revenge trading. So what
That's
they
true.
do is they have like $1,000, and then um they will just do, let's say, SL nila is 15%. So after that, 1,000's 15% is about $150. That only gives them like 6 to 7 opportunity trades. And then if let's say out of those 7 trades, you already lose 3 to 4 times. That's already more than 50% of your total capital. So that lowers your chance of mitigating your risk, or like lowering down your risk. So
Mm.
that's what I do when I trade derivatives. But lately, I have 2 kids already. And then the third one is coming out in.
Congrats, sir.
I don't have that much time, so what I do is I work, and then sometimes when the market is doing well, that's when I do derivatives,
Mm,
because it's hard, right? Sometimes I shorting is something that requires good amount of skill.
yeah.
Trist has a lot of time analyzing the market. That's fine,
Mm.
but I
Well,
think a
because I
safe
don't have
way.
a wife, so that's why.
Exactly. So don't have one yet. Don't have one yet. But when it's in me that when market is doing well, it's easier to trade because the psychology of the market, it you usually think the same, right? When the market is doing well, but when the market is not doing well, you see the psychology sometimes or most of the time don't work,
Yeah.
right? So you go against the market, and that's going to be a difficult strategy.
Yeah.
So in this case, when the market is not doing well, I would go more like 70% spot talaga.
Mm,
I keep buying. Like every month when I get my salary, I buy, and then like a portion of what goes to my investment, I trade on derivatives.
yeah.
Yeah.
According to Endorf meme, I think you need to burn some wallet first before you become profitable. That's true.
Uh,
Well, it's part of the
yes.
experience.
Right. Right. But the good thing is that we have influencers like Tristan, right? If you watch his videos, you'd have a greater sense of how the market moves, and it allows you to plan your trades. So you don't have to burn that much money, right?
Mm,
If you, because if you trade without the knowledge, or without at least following good insights traders in, the tendency is that if you have $1,000, sayang kagad siya, burning kagad. But if you prepare, if you plan ahead, then there's a possibility na the possible losses that you might incur will be mitigated.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. And the good thing about Bybit again is that we have virtual trading, like most exchanges have. But we have that virtual trading. If you're not yet that confident, use virtual trading first. You can be given amount lagay mo $10,000. But it's not real money, of course, virtual lang. And then when you trade, you would know if you're trading better than yesterday. So
Yeah.
just do it every day. Like maybe like for about a week or 2 or 3 weeks. If you're confident with your strategy, then that's when you put real money.
Yeah. And right now we have a total of 200 viewers at our YouTube live stream. So hello to all the 200 viewers who are watching and commenting down below. And maybe I think we can answer one last questions before we go to the status of Bybit, because it's already
Okay.
7 p.m. Uh, let's answer one question here. Why do you think altcoins underperformed in the last bull market, while only a few of the top 10 coins did well? Many people didn't expect this and put all their money into altcoins, hoping for 10x gains. Maybe I can
Meme
answer
coin.
that first. Well,
Sure.
I think this one, it really depends on the analyst's opinion. So I think my opinion for this one is we did not see any hype when it comes to altcoins during the latest bull market. I think usually we usually see a lot of projects that are getting hyped during a Bitcoin bull market, but the problem is we did not see that much of a altcoin hype. And what happened is the liquidity stayed with Bitcoin, and then after that the hype actually went to gold. And then after gold it went to, wait, let's wait for a bit. Yeah. After gold it went to silver. And then right now the liquidity is moving from one place to another. But the problem is it's not going back to altcoins. So that is the main problem why we are not seeing any altcoin season. That's how I see it. And the only way we can see the altcoin market to go back is we need to see some hype and some opium again on the altcoin market, some projects to go back. Then after that, then we can see altcoin market go up. How about you, Tim?
Uh, did I get the question right? Kung bakit, why altcoins didn't perform?
Mm,
I mean, a lot of majority of
yes.
altcoins didn't perform. If I can.
Yes.
Okay, quick. I think quick answer narratives because sorry, did I? Because of course, Bitcoin is the main crypto, right? It's the king of all cryptos. And when people have, I mean, unlike before, right? Hindi ganoon karami yung altcoin options, right? You see almost all not all, but I think it's like 70% of altcoins, 60% of altcoins really performed well in the same way as Bitcoin did, right? Usually there's money flow from
Mm,
Bitcoin to altcoins to mid caps to caps, and then it goes back, right? But I think since the market has really became more mature, right? They they tend to be institutions or retail market in general tend to become more selective of the narratives. So you can see AI, RWA. There was also a time when RWA did pretty well. I mean, in 2020, you would see like NFTs, metaverse, like layer two performing very well.
mm,
Um, so in the previous cycle, almost everything moved because there was excess liquidity. Today, money is more focused on strong narratives in major assets. So only a few altcoins outperform. So I think, in my opinion, what I do personally is I will become more selective of the crypto I am buying if it's not Bitcoin, right? Because even Ethereum is having its own difficulties. If you heard about Ethereum facing challenges, or like doing a lot of preparation when it comes to quantum attacks or quantum computation attacks. If you've not heard of it, then I think you should be reading more about crypto. Kasi it's something that what that does is it allows hackers to break cryptocurrency keys to the point that it can expose uh, your um, your assets unsafely. So things like that. Even if you being the top altcoin next to Bitcoin, they too are having a lot of struggles. So it's important that you select your crypto the same way that you buy, in the same way that how you choose stocks in the stock market. Diba? When you buy a stock, you have to make sure that they have the potential to become Jollibee in the future. They will become, like Ayala in the future. So same thing, you have to do your own due diligence and read its manual. So at this point, ako personally, I don't buy meme coins anymore. We have a lot of meme coins listed on Bybit, but of course, different people have different risk appetite. I no longer buy those that can't make me sleep at night. I look for those projects that I think that even if we are in a bear market, it will survive, right? It has something to solve, and at the same time, aside from the project being able to solve something, it also has a good team to promote adoption, right? Even if a project is doing crazy technology, if it's not properly cascaded in the market, then I don't think the project will also thrive. So I think those things, narratives, and then checking your portfolio. Thank you, Patty.
Yes.
Why do you think
Yours,
altcoins didn't pump?
mine's.
Actually, for me, maybe like because of this question have been asked from the person who been in the market for some time already, and then like maybe you compare the current situation to the past market, right? If you see like the number of altcoins that have been pushed into the market is just like very completely different number. Like if you compare to the past like 2-3 bull market before, right? So I think like when you have a lot of things in the market, right? So and you have a limit liquidity in the market, so it means that it doesn't go to what we expect, right? So we think that maybe like Ethereum or like the top altcoin will be pumped in the last bull market, but it didn't. But if you see the news, if you have been follow the past situation, you see the meme coin pump maybe 100x. Some of the dog coin pump like a lot, right? So that means maybe like the all season have been shipped to somehow like a meme coin, but we didn't pay attention, right? Because we don't have that meme coin, but it actually pump. If you see like a bunch of cat token have been pumped multiple X, but we didn't have it. We didn't have a chance to get in. We see like a bunch of dog coin have been pumped. A lot of them that made people who literally like lucky and be a millionaire. Like we see that actually somehow I been catch up this trend, but I couldn't make it, right. So we kind of think into the old way that our coin, our season will be the same like in the past, but actually it may be already changed into meme season. So I think like in the next bull market, it possibly there will be a new like meme coin again,
That
or
will
like
come.
a new there's something maybe like yes. Cause also I lost from meme coin. So anyway, like our season maybe change the situation in the next bull market. So we just have to be pay attention like what the exactly market like the liquidity is. So like so it's just like it doesn't go in the same way. That what I thinking. Yeah.
Anyway, I think we are almost out of time, so maybe we can discuss the status of Bybit in the Philippines. So, maybe Tim, maybe you can give some updates on our viewers on what should they be expecting, especially with Bybit in the Philippines.
Right. I think Patty can also answer this, but at this point, I you know that we've stopped accommodating new users, right? That's why when even if you download it, actually we're no longer available on Play Store. Um, I wish we still are, right? But because of compliance matters, as you know, Bybit is an exchange that is always compliant in most countries. Um, so at this point in time, we chose a direction wherein we believe it's going to be more long term. So I can't go in details yet with all the things that we're doing in the background. But what I can assure everyone is that our lawyers are, you know, are doing their best to be able to cater to more users. So for now, while we can't serve new users because we respect SEC that much to the point that we had to discontinue new users, we believe it's the best route for a more long-term plans for Bybit. For existing users, um, yes, you can still basically communicate with us. We have our support to help you. We have still have a global communities on Telegram. So if you have questions, I can course your questions there. But yeah, at the moment we are complying. We can't go in details yet, but we'll definitely keep you posted. That's all.
Okay. And anything to add, Patty?
Yeah, I think like team already covered everything regarding to the regulator and everything that we want to push forward. So stay tuned for Bybit in the Philippines. Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
definitely wait for Bybit, and definitely a lot of users, especially existing users, want more users to come to Bybit, and of course, you want the Bybit community to get much bigger in the Philippines, so we are definitely waiting for what will happen, especially with how SEC is treating every exchanges here in Manila. But anyway, I think we are now out of time, and if you find this video, this live stream useful and informative, make sure to hit the comments down below, hit the like button down below, hit the subscribe button down below as well if you don't want to miss our next updates and maybe our next live stream if we do get another one. But yeah, that's all for now, and we'll see you guys in the next video.